Dr. Quinn's Deadly 10, Episode 3. The Snarling. Don't cry oh my god, I hope this isn't the snoring. I've had to watch some such terrible crap. Okay, hold up here. Before we get into this, I just loaded this into the Blu-ray player and look at this. I could have swore that The Snarling was a werewolf movie. So tell me why the fuck we have zombies on here. Are they trying to trick me? Stay tuned to find out. The Snarling came out in 2018, was directed by Pablo Rayabold. And I gotta tell you something, guys. This might be tied with one of the most boring freaking movies I have ever seen in my whole freaking life. I am not even exaggerating here. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you like werewolf movies? Well, how do you like a werewolf movie that doesn't really have a werewolf in it? Because that's what the frick that this movie gives you. Let me tell you something. There is one part here where these people are out walking around and they get killed by the werewolf, because this movie is about a werewolf, I guess. I mean that, I guess. But they get killed by the werewolf, you don't even see it. And then, I'm not even exaggerating here, it takes an hour and 15 minutes of an hour and 22-minute movie to get to where we're at this werewolf again. There's some other kills off screen, and then there's this other kill. I don't understand here. There is a crazy spot where, like, the first time you actually get to kind of see the werewolf, where, like, there's a strobe light going on and they don't even explain why. And so there's this whole kill scene that's just blinking lights. It's so oppressive, man. Like, who thought about this? Who thought to shoot some shit like this? I don't understand. Whew. Let's talk about, like, I want to give some compliments, but there is none. There is nothing I can give that helps this. The werewolf costume is freaking terrible. Like, have you ever seen a werewolf with bugged eyes? And I mean freaking bugged out, bugged eyes. I've never seen one before. Definitely ranking with some of the worst as far as special effects. Like, there's very little gore. There's some strewn body parts and stuff that don't even look dressed up. Like, there's like this scene where they go to like a crime scene and there's like no blood there. You get to see like the piece of a coat and like a foot, but there's no blood attached to it. Like, what do you mean this werewolf tore all these people up and you're telling me that there's no bloody stump? Rough. This is a movie of endless exposition. Do you like horror movies about people talking to each other? Okay, sorry, you don't like that? What about movies about bumbling detectives and one has an obsessive compulsive eating disorder? No? Oh, then The Snarling is definitely not for you. This movie is freaking trash, boring. Okay, so I put in that part where I said that there was, you know, I showed the screen and there's zombies and stuff. Well, the plot of the movie, as these people have come to this like podunk town to make a zombie movie, and then these killings start happening around the zombie movie. So those zombies you see are like extras that are cast in the movie, and there's like 1 or 2 zombies that you actually get to see in shot, but it's mainly about these 3 guys in this town that one runs like a pub, the other like is kind of aloof and like a little mysterious about what he's doing, and then this guy who is striving to be an actor. But I don't even know why I'm giving you any of this information. This movie is not worth watching. It's the worst of the worst. I mean, I've already watched Animal and Slaughter. Animal is pretty much like bleh. Slaughter at least was like, what the fuck, keeping me on my toes because I just didn't know what the hell was going on. There were so many points in this movie of The Snarling where I just wanted to stop. I just wanted to stop because I knew it wasn't going to get any better. But I don't want to have my Blu-rays freaking rot. Damn you, Dr. Quinn. The Snarling. Stay away from it. Dr. Quinn's Deadly 10, Episode 4. Clyde Barker's The Plague. Clyde Barker, that's Jace Vanderbeek. What? I don't know. Let's give it a go.
In the early days of the 21st century, all the children of the world were struck by a mysterious disease that put them in a deep catatonic state.
I will send famine and wild beasts against you.
Eric.
And they will leave you childless.
Something's wrong with my son.
Plague and bloodshed will sweep through you. And I will bring the sword against you. I, the Lord, have spoken.
It was the greatest catastrophe the world had ever known, until they woke up.
What's going on?
They're awake, man. All of them.
From Master of Horror Clive Barker.
You will get out of this alive.
Let's go.
James Vanderbeek.
Get down.
The Plague. On DVD.
They're learning.
Clyde Barker's The Plague was made in 2006, directed by Hal Masonberg, who I've never actually heard of before. I didn't take too much time to look him up. But I'm happy to say that this is the first of these freaking movies that really wasn't that bad. There's some good bones here. I was already kind of excited because it's a Clyde Barker story, so with those you have like a certain expectation, at least as far as what you're gonna get into story-wise, and they didn't disappoint there. It's a pretty interesting story. So, for an unexplained reason, all children aged 9 years and under suddenly go into this crazy comatose state. Nobody seems to be able to explain why. They don't seem to be dying. They just stop functioning. They have these moments where they go into these crazy seizures twice a day. Nut stuff. So anyway, flash forward 10 years. And these kids are still in a coma. I mean, they're growing at a normal rate. They're all now like young adults. And, you know, they continue having these seizures and they're still asleep. Well, one day they wake up and it's all bad. This stars James Vanderbeek, who I was a little skeptical about, but he does a good job. He's like the strong silent type. He doesn't have too much dialogue, which I think benefits him. He's a guy getting out of jail. They don't really explain too much that happens except for that he killed a guy. And they try to use that for some drama points, but it doesn't really work. But regardless of that, so the kids come back and they just want to kill everybody. It's insane. So then it becomes kind of like a zombie movie, but not quite zombies because they're just these crazy kids. They can still function and stuff. They have like crazy hive mind mentality. Like they show that like if one of this group of kids gets up, that they all learn, like if one thing learns how to shoot a gun, then they all can shoot a gun. Which is an example from the movie. So that stuff is kind of crazy. Who knows what was going on when they were in a coma. They don't go into it at all. Some pretty good gooey goo here. There's a particularly brutal death in here that I was very impressed with. And it's something very realistic. It's somebody getting shot, and the scene is insane. Like, it's all close up. They don't shy away from it, and it's very realistic. And I was very impressed because I actually winced while seeing this. And there's some other good gooey goo of people's heads getting splatted. A lot of areas where they come into gruesome scenes of blood everywhere and people all beat up and stuff. People getting their heads smashed. So very decent on that. I'm a little concerned with the ending because it like really goes off the rails, and I don't know how I feel about it. I guess I kind of understand because there's like this quote that is at the beginning, middle, and end that they keep trying to hammer at home. The main character has the grapes of wrath in his pocket, and he's always like talking about how it's about hope. And I guess the underlying theme of this is hope, even though everybody's getting all messed up. But like I said, I really like the story here. Now I kind of want to read the real story to see like what it's actually like, because the concept is kind of crazy. And I think if they had a bigger budget, or they expanded more on like why the kids came back all crazy to kill people, and more of the killing, and the fact that this was supposedly going on worldwide, because they show like a newscast that it happens worldwide. So they try to keep the story contained to this small town, but it leaves a lot of questions at the end, because you get a solution, but you don't know if it's just a solution for those particular group of people or for the world. But they try to like keep it lingering in the background that it's a global scale type thing, but I don't think they nail it very well. And like I said, the ending for all the awesome stuff that was going on and the brutality really is lackluster and leaves you going, bleh, and then gives you something even more ambiguous that I don't understand, and I don't know what's going on. And I really feel like it didn't make sense. But otherwise, this was a decent watch, and now is at the top of this box of shite that Dr. Quinn has got me. If you can find this movie for $1 and you want to watch something kind of a little different, and you want to see the possibility of something that could be something awesome, maybe you're an aspiring filmmaker and you're looking for a crazy story or something for inspiration, you should definitely check out The Plague. It's decent, I guess. I'll give it a 5 out of 5. Joke's on you this time, Quinn.